What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Port Adelaide versus Gold Coast, a round 24 clash that ended in an absolute thriller. It was just unbelievable, and to finish off 2025 the right way with a gutsy, hard-fought win against the top 8 Suns, well, the top 9 at the moment, they're fighting for it, but an amazing win, one that you just get overwhelmed with joy, and the purpose at its core was for Travis Boak, and it was for Ken Hinkley, and it was for Chad Corns, and yeah, hell, throw in Rory Atkins. I couldn't give a shit at this point. It just was the most phenomenal win. Now, put it into perspective here, this is a Gold Coast Suns outfit that have been amazing this year. They've got that killer instinct. They've smashed the likes of Brisbane. Yeah, they came off of a loss against the Giants last week, but you expected them to respond. You expected them to come in and really showcase their and flex their muscles, basically. And for Port to stand up with 11, 12 SANFL players in the side, basically one of the youngest playing groups we've ever had on the park ever, I think. And 6 first-year players, two of them playing their first game. It's just an inexperienced lineup that haven't really played together all that much, and to play that well in that circumstance, in that situation, is one of the best results I've seen. And it's a full credit to Ken, full credit to everyone that put in the hard yards. And when you sit here and it's like, wow, we've got some really great young group of players coming through. I think it's amazing. And even Ken said post-game in his presser, he said, I didn't even think we had a chance. And you can't say that. But as an outgoing coach, who gives a stuff? And I loved it. I loved his presser so much, and I loved his emotion throughout the night. And it's one of those things where throughout any part of his coaching tenure, Ken's always been able to emotionally drive this group. They've been able to get up for emotional occasions or respond, and it's just incredible. And, I'm so proud of the playing group, so proud of the boys, so proud of that performance. I feel like we won a final. That's the feeling I have, and yeah, you can't take that away because it's just pure joy. The fact that we were in that game and the fact that we were even a chance to win is a full credit to the whole playing group. Everyone that played last night deserves so much recognition. You can't really review a game based off of skill or structure or just anything other than the fact that the way we won that game was pressure. I think we ended up with 12 holding the balls, which was I have to swear, fucking unbelievable. Like, if there's ever one thing that we've lacked consistently, it's effort and endeavour and pressure. And every time we've played a good game this year, we've had pressure. Pressure's been our key focal point. The Hawks game for Gather Round, Freo, a couple of weeks back, our pressure on the ball carrier and our ability to make them turn over, that's at its core. That's the DNA that we need going forward. The playing group has it in them. They just need it consistently for 23 weeks of the year. It's an amazing performance. And I know the free kicks sort of skewered the way towards us, and I'm not gonna shy away from that. But what I say to people saying, "Oh, you won because of the umpires," we've spent 23 weeks of this year trying to get around being called for the most ridiculous free kicks. We're the bottom of the ladder in terms of free kicks for. It's about damn time we got the rub of the green, and I couldn't give a stuff. Stuff you if you think the umpires won us the game, because we won on endeavour, we won on pressure, we won on the ability to make the most of the opportunities we had. We blew some chances. I'm not going to shy away from that. But Mitch Georgiades kicking 4 goals, crucial goals late as well, standing up in big moments. Connor Rozee really starting to showcase the last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks his captain material. I know on field against Carlton, everyone was off, but like off field, standing up and saying what's right, his ability to perform in the game that he did against the Suns, and then even Freo, he was great, even though with one hand. Like, it's these sort of things that really define you as a captain, and It's reminiscent of Boak's first year as skipper. You know, he had games where he had 30 and kicked 3. Like, he was unbelievable. And Rosie standing up in moments, kicking his crucial goal, and just doing the number 10 celebration brings a tear to your eye, really. Yeah, it's one of those things you sit back and go, wow, we have this talent. And Zach Butters apparently said one of the most emotional third quarter time speeches ever, saying he loved the football club, loved playing with all of his mates, and I hope to God there is a signature on a paper, because that man's a captain. He deserves to be skipper alongside Connor. But, you know, at the same time, they're just two great leaders of this club. They're the future of this club. And Zach, to put in a performance the way he did, bouncing off, he would make a mistake, but he would follow up, and the next contest, he's right in there. It's what you need as a playing group. You know, I want to shout out to Lachie Jones. I want to shout out to Darcy Byrne-Jones late in crucial moments. Kane Farrell in his last tackle of the game was phenomenal. I thought Jack Whitlock's effort was amazing all night. As I said, Mitch Georgiadis. Ollie Lord fought through, even though he was a bit quiet. He had moments and he stood up, and that was, you know, crucial. Aliir playing on one leg with a medial ligament injury is just unheard of. He's a warrior and the backbone of our football club. I thought Brendan Zergthager was sensational. I thought, well, for parts of his game, in that third quarter, he was intercepting everything, and it was a great to see. I'm trying not to forget anyone, because everyone was so important. You know, so important on the night. I thought even the first game was Ram on Ben King. Like, that's what a terrifying matchup. And he comes out and, yeah, he kicks 3 goals, but, like, he just stood up. He just copped it on the chin, said, I'll take the role. McKinley was awesome. I thought his pressure around the ball was phenomenal and was in good positions the whole night. Yeah, it's incredible. To win this game, I tipped us in hope, positive affirmations, and it showcases you how amazing it can be as a performance when everyone buys in. And that's what we did against the Suns. I wanted to spend this little bit talking about Trav. The man means so much to this football club, and I think on the night the emotions were there. I cried during the pre-match presentation, which was amazing by Port Adelaide, by the way. Great stuff by the game day team and everyone involved. That was phenomenal. You know, I think post-game, the lap of honour, you're just watching him and you're just like, wow, this is the last time I'll see you on a footy field. And just the carry-off and everything, you sort of get caught up and welled up in the emotion because of the close win, and the ending to it was outrageous. You know, on the final siren, I actually don't think, I physically didn't feel like I was there. I was floating. And as people would know, like, I've done my Achilles and I'm in a moon boot and I'm trying to jump up or down. Like, it's the feeling, the core feeling I had on the final siren was thank God. Like, I'm so happy. And, you know, the sadness doesn't really hit yet, because with Trav, it's like, the man's an icon of this club. He's a legend of this club. He will have a statue in the future. He will be immortalised, forever entrenched in Port Adelaide history. And to send him off the right way with an amazing win, with a performance he put into, like, he turned the ball over a couple of times, and like, he was mic'd up for the night, and he said, you know, he's got the rest of his life off. Like, that's the mentality he had. He was game mode switched on. I'll give everything I can for this club right to the end, and full acknowledgement to Trav. And it's just going to be devastating and sad to see the number 10 no longer on the footy field. I hope we retire the number, because we need to have a year or two where we really pay respect, and we owe Trav so much, and I think that's some of the things that we can, you know, the least we can do for him. But yeah, I'm so proud right now. Just, it's an amazing thing how much a win can just turn your fortunes, and the momentum the club can take into the change, into the off season, starting the car, fresh look on the club, have a bit of a refresh, reset, and our win just changes all of that momentum. It's an amazing sort of switch that can happen, and 41,000 people at the home game for a Gold Coast Suns game, farewelling Trav and Ken and everyone, and the crowd was electric. I just want to say one last thing before I sign off is well done Port Adelaide Football Club, well done to the fans, well done to everyone involved, because last night was special. That was a moment and a win and a game we will remember forever. It's a pretty damn special feeling to have. And I know perspective is a wonderful thing. We didn't play finals this year. We didn't make where we wanted to make. We have had some terrible performances this year, but it's amazing how much you can, leaving on a good note on a shit year, makes every sort of mental opinion change just a little bit. And I'm sure there's people out there that have been ropeable with the club and filthy with the club and everything. But then this win happens and it's just like, maybe there's hope. And there's more than hope, Port fans. This club has a lot of key ingredients to go right back to the top. I just hope we make the right changes going into the off-season and go after the players we need to. And coaches, Choco, Stewie Jew, if we can get them back, some people put into their places, this club's going to be going somewhere going forward. Let me know in the comments below, Port fans, your thoughts on the game. That was an amazing victory and just one to send off a legend of this football club. And I will say once more, Travis, thank you so much for everything you've given to this club. We are in debt forever for what you've given us, and thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, appreciate everything that you've done for us. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide AFL content to come your way. Plenty more to come through the off season, so make sure you subscribe because we're closer to 6,000 than ever before, and I can't wait to see everyone very, very soon. My name's Anthony, and as always, can the pair.